So let's talk books. There are so many books on law of attraction, and I probably have read most of them, or I've tried to anyway. I'm still reading to the point that this law has been around for a really, really long time. This is not new information. I was reading Neville Goddard's imagination. Create reality through your imagination. That was in the 20s, and the science of getting rich. There's so many books out there, old and new, on law of attraction. And I have to say that some of it has worked for me and some hasn't. So I think that if you want to read some of those books that you can, but you have to kind of, with the angel's help, ask, well, what is going to work for me? And I also find that at certain times, certain things work and at certain times they don't. So I found that when I was in really, really good moods, I could imagine more of the life that I wanted and, do kind of a virtual reality. So what you do is that you think about what you want and you see yourself in that life and you just kind of keep playing that in your imagination. And whether you want, a relationship or a better job or more money and whatever it is, that you just become a virtual actor and see yourself in your mind's eye, in your imagination, living this life. So some people, when I tell them to do that, feel a little crazy. And they're like, that's crazy. I feel like I'm like crazy sitting there thinking about this life that I don't have. And I understand that. It does feel a little crazy, but I do think that there's value to it and it does work, because when you're imagining the life that you want, you get a feel for it. And when you get a feel for it, it is easier to draw it to you. And it's also, you recognize it too, because you have a feel for it. And you also give yourself the chance to, experience it. And, if you can't even visualize yourself in a life, it's probably a goal that's a little bit out of your reach unless you start visualizing it and becomes more and more comfortable. Some people, start visualizing big things right away and they're comfortable with that and that makes them feel really good. So I say that's fine. But if you're not comfortable with whatever you're visualizing, don't visualize it. Again, the object is to make ourselves feel really good. So if whatever you're visualizing is making you feel really good, then that's good. You can keep doing that. If whatever you're visualizing is not making you feel really good, then don't visualize that. Visualize something a little bit smaller. Or, start saying some affirmations that just make you feel good. So there are time for affirmations. There are time for living in a virtual reality. There are times for all these things. And I find that depending on my mood is when I pick what to do. But we need all of those tools. All of those tools are important. So if you can't talk to yourself in a way that is, inspires hope and excitement, then you're not going to draw that to you. And if you can't see yourself in a life that you really want, then you're going to have a really hard time bringing that life to you. Before I started my psychotherapy practice, I saw myself having, my clients, my office. I saw myself working from home. I visualized it. I could see myself doing it. It was like, oh, that's something that I could do. And so I could see where that visualizing really did work. Now, if I never saw myself doing a private practice and I never saw myself doing any of this stuff, then I would not probably have gone after that. So it's really important to give yourself a chance and say, okay, what dream do I want to work on today? And, do I want to be a famous author? And see yourself at a table signing books, visualize what would it feel like to get that call from a publisher, or the letter from a publisher, that we want to publish your book, or that, you got the job that you always wanted to get, or this perfect guy comes walking into your life and you're really comfortable with him and everything seems perfect and it just clicks. Visualize the life that you want. It could be really, really comforting and fun, and just visualizing having this virtual reality. It's like this virtual place where you can try on different things for yourself. if you can visualize it and have fun with it, it can put you in a really good mood to the point that you don't even care if you have it or not. But if you're visualizing and it's not feeling good, then I wouldn't do it. Maybe then switch to affirmations. I always say affirmations that make me feel really good. Like, I love learning this stuff. I love knowing that, I have more power than I thought I have. I love knowing that I create my life and life doesn't just happen to me. Those are some of the affirmations that I repeat over and over. Or I'll say, I love learning this stuff. I just love learning something new is exciting to me, and watching my life change in magical ways is very, very exciting to me. So I think that it's important to use all these different tools at different times to create different feeling states in yourself. So if you, are saying affirmations and you're not feeling them, I wouldn't say them. So pick things that make you feel really good. And if nothing is making you feel really good, on days that, I can't really imagine my life going that way. It's like, there's no way that's going to happen to me. Then what I do, if the affirmations don't work, and if me talking to myself isn't working, if nothing's working, then I really just get myself off the topic and watch Ellen, or watch a funny movie, or, do something completely different, meditate. Do something completely different that gets my mind off of everything, because we can get into a place where we're just trying too hard. So, all of these things are tools, and all of these things are ways that make us see our true power and what we really can do and create. So it's not like if you don't do them, it couldn't happen. But all these things aid in our belief of ourselves. So if you see it in your imagination and you feel it, then you believe it more, and you believe in yourself more. And if you're saying good affirmations and you're feeling really, really good, then you believe that more. And then when you're in those really, really good feeling states, that's when you start manifesting things. Things will just start coming to you, so that you can prove to yourself, this is Skittles, who wants to say hi, that you can prove to yourself how powerful you are. And that, I think half the time that I just like the manifestation. Sometimes I like knowing that I can manifest more than I like the manifestations. It's like, oh, wow, how did that happen? And I just love that feeling so much that, the manifestation itself, I have to start to think, well, do I really want to do that? I don't know if I really want to do that. So I have to think twice about it. But I just love the magic in that. So if you want to read more about, creating in your imagination, there are tons of books on it. Bob Proctor has books on it. Rhonda Byrne has books on it. The Magic, The Hero, The Power, Rhonda Byrne has written. Neville Goddard, has stuff on YouTube for free. You can listen to his lectures. Really, really interesting stuff. You can listen to The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, and that's free on YouTube. It's a great book, and he really talks a lot about keep thinking over and over what you want, and don't let anything kind of take your mind off of it, and also to have a lot of faith that these things can happen for you and that you can create them. So those are just some of the books, but there's so many books out there, current books that are just so interesting. It's just endless. I'm going to post actually all the books that I've read, and so that you can have a place to say, okay, let me read this one, because each book I really do feel has a tool or two in it that is helpful, and I find myself jumping from tool to tool to kind of keep myself in a good mood. So in some ways it doesn't really matter what the tool is, but if on one day one thing is working for me and then another day another thing is working for me, that's really good that I have different things to go to, because sometimes our thoughts just want to go into that negative place. It's just such a habit, and we really have to have a lot of tools to keep ourselves out of that negative thinking and to stay in our truth and in the good feelings so that we can bring the ideas and bring the lives that we want, and really just to be able to be happy. I mean, a lot of the reason why we want things or want to create things is so that we can be happy. So we can be happy without any of the creations and without any of the things right now. And my clients and me will laugh and say, oh my God, it's so much work to be happy. And it really is. You really have to let go of a lot of things. You can't let people, places, or things bother you so much. You have to let it go, and you have to know how to comfort your feelings, and you have to know how to comfort yourself so you can get out of it quicker. And I feel like it's a lot of letting go and trusting. So I just keep saying, okay, can I let that go? And if you can't let it go, rewrite it. Neville talks about, at the end of the day, if you had a bad day, don't leave your day on that note. Rewrite the day the way you wanted it. So actually recreate the day and have all the things that you wanted to have happen to you. So, if you felt disappointed in yourself or something didn't go the way that you wanted to, rewrite it and see it in a different way, if you can, if that works. If that doesn't work, try something else to just get your mood a little bit better, and keep trying, because to be in these happy states is just what we will draw to us. So the more, Rhonda Byrne talks about, if you have 51% of positivity, that's enough. There's a tipping point. So you don't have to be positive 100% of the time. As long as you have it at least 51% is enough. So I think that's pretty good. Esther talks about, don't give anything negative more than 17 seconds. And I find that a little challenging, because when I go negative at least for an hour or two. If a thought bomb goes off on me, I am kind of taken out a little bit. So I have to work a little harder. 17 seconds is just sometimes not enough time for me. But this is why we need so many different tools. And the angels have helped me and directed me to try this or try that, or I'll get inspired to look up a new author, or one of the authors that I'm reading about talks about another author. I'm listening to Bob Proctor, and he's talking about Earl Nightingale. So now that's on my list to read his book. So it kind of, one book will lead to the next book, and it's really, really important. And, why not read things that make you feel good and make you feel hopeful and make you feel positive and make you feel like you have a lot of power in your life? Why not choose to surround yourself with that, as opposed to thoughts of, I can't do it, I can't change my life, I can't have a better life, this is it, life. So many people that I see suffer from boredom. They're bored. It's like a lot of my clients will walk in and they're like, I'm depressed. And I'm like, I don't think you're depressed. I think you're bored. And they're like, I think you're right. So what are we going to do to combat this boredom? You have to start living the life that you want to live. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to learn how to play the guitar? Do you want to take piano lessons? It's never too late to learn something, to do something. I have a friend that just opened up her own shop on Etsy, and I have never seen her look so happy and so passionate about anything in a long time. So when we allow ourselves to do these things, it's life-changing. So it might, when you're thinking about it, it might not feel like that it is, but it really, really is. When I woke up this morning and I knew I was going to be taping for this course, I was like so excited, because I know once I start talking about this stuff, how enthused I get and how it makes me feel. And, I can't stop talking about it. So that, to me, was an exciting day. So that's what we want to help you create. So remember, 51%, that's all you need to start manifesting better things in your life, whatever they are. Even just to be happy and relaxed and to be able to be in the moment. I don't think I've been more in the moment in my life than I am now, because I just have a sense that I know that I'm taken care of. I know that what I need, I can draw to me, and I know everything is going to be okay. most of the time. You know, I mean, I have my moments, but when I feel that way, I'm so present. I'm present with my kids, I'm present with my other family, I'm present with everyone in my life. And when I don't feel that way, I can feel myself being distracted, and I can feel myself not being in the moment. And all we have, you know, and the angels say this to me all the time, all we have are moment by moment. We don't have the past anymore, it's over. And the future isn't here. We have to live in the moment. It's so important. You know, the angels are always showing me that hourglass, and that's what it represents, being in the moment by moment, sand particle by sand particle. That's all that we have. So why can't we make the moments that we have, that we're in right now, the best moments possible? We have that choice, and we don't have to let anybody take that choice away from us. You know, if someone comes and says something, I don't have to choose to go to a thought bomb about it. I really don't. I can choose to remind myself who I am, what I'm doing, and the truth about my life. So give that a shot. Think about some books. Think about, you know, most of the books that I read now is on Audible, because, you know, I have a lot to do. I have, you know, a lot of laundry, and I got to take care of the house and take care of the kids. So I am constantly listening to books on Audible. I think my kids think, I don't even know what they think, because they hear me listening to things constantly. So I don't really know what they think, but they see that I'm happy. So I guess, you know, it doesn't bother them. But that's a good way. You know, YouTube and Audible is perfect, because you can do other things as you're listening to these books. And, you know, it's really does take this kind of commitment to listen to something inspiring at least once a day. At least once a day. Get a new tool once a day. I mean, we're going to keep going over all these tools, but this is important. Okay, so give it a shot. Okay, have a great day.